بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أما بعد, this is Akkaamul Janaaiz or Bid'ah, like the second video in the series after the first introductory lesson. This book has like 18 chapters. I was like, I want to start from the middle or a part before, but I've reconsidered starting from the beginning chapter. The beginning chapter is the chapter talking about ma yajibu ala al-maridi, what is expected, mandated, obligated on the sick person, especially the terminally sick person, someone that has a sickness that is a terminal illness. A terminal illness, such an illness that has the high probability of leading to death. So it has high probability of leading the person to death. So what are those things that is expected of the person to do according to Islam, to the authentic narrations from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also from the verses and guidance of the Quran? Firstly, على المريض أن يرضى بقضاء الله. It is obligated upon that person to be pleased with the decree of Allah. ويصبر على قدره, and to be patient upon the decree of Allah. ويحسن ظن بربه, and he should have a good thought about his Lord. ذلك خير له. This is better for him. Then an hadith is brought to support this, but I don't want to elongate. But okay, let me just, this start with عجبا لأمر المؤمن إن أمره كله خير وليس ذلك لأحد إلا للمؤمن. Surprising is the affair of the believer. All his affairs are good, and no one has this except for the believer. The second thing is for the person to be between hope and fear. يخاف عقاب الله, fearing the punishment of Allah, على ذنوبه, regarding his sins, ويرجو رحمة ربه, and also in expectance, in hope of the mercy of Allah. لحديث Anas, because of the hadith of Anas, where the Prophet ﷺ said, when he, that the Prophet entered on a youth that is really feeling death, expecting death, and the Prophet ﷺ asked him how is he feeling. He said he is hopeful of Allah and he is fearing for his sins. And the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يجتمعان في قلب عبد في مثل هذا الموطن. These two things are not going to be in the mind of anyone or of a servant at this particular situation. إلا أعطاه الله ما يرجو, except that Allah gives what he hopes for. وأمنه مما يخاف, and make him secure from what is fearing. The third thing is ومهما اشتد به المرض فلا يجوز له أن يتمنى الموت. It is not expected for such a person to be thinking of or to be hoping for death or to be calling for death. So I won't go into that in detail. So not to talk of considering suicide. The fourth is وإذا كان عليه حقوق فليؤديها إلى صاحبها. If there are rights upon him, he should pay it to those that he owes. إن تيسر له ذلك, if that is easy for him. وإلا أوصى بذلك, if not, he should give a will, a statement in regards to that. So that's fourth thing. The fifth thing to be done is ولا بد من الاستنجاب بمثل هذه الوصية لقوله. He must hasten his will, his statement regarding this, because of the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he said, "Ma haqqu imri'in muslim yabitu laylatan, ma haqqu imri'in muslimin yabitu laylatayn wa lahu shay'un yurid an yusiya fihi illa wa wasiyatuhu maktuban inda rasihi." So that it is the right, it is expected of a Muslim that 2 nights should not pass by him and he has something to be willed and he did not will it, or he must ensure that he wills that thing that he has the right to will, or should and must will, for the duration of 2 nights, and he has it put under his pillow. So the sixth one is وَيَجِبُ أَنْ يُسِيَ لِأَقَارِبِهِ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرِثُونَ مِنْهُ. He can also will some of his property for some of his close people that are not going to inherit him. So the seventh thing to do is وَلَهُ أَنْ يُسِيَ بِثُلُثِ مِنْ مَالِهِ. He can will out a third of his property. وَلَا يَجُوزُ الزِّيَادَةُ عَلَيْهِ. It is not permissible for him to increase on that 1/3. بَلِ الْأَفْضَلُ أَنْ يَنْقُصَ مِنْهُ. Rather, the best is if he can even decrease on that 1/3, for the hadith of Ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu anhu. So the next, the ninth thing, وَأَمَّا الْوَصِيَّةُ لِلْوَالِدَيْنِ وَالْأَقْرَبِينَ الَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ مِنَ الْمُوصِي فَلَا تَجُوزُ. But willing or writing a will for your parents, for your close relatives, that Islam has stipulated for them to inherit you, it is not permissible to also do that. The 10th thing is وَيَحْرُمُ الْإِضْرَارُ فِي الْوَصِيَّةِ. It is not expected that you harm people in your will. Can you see بِحُرْمَانِ بَعْضِ الْوَرَثَةِ, like you willing that a part of those that have been stipulated to be given a will should be denied access to your property. So, or you give preference for one of those that has been stipulated over the other. So this is not permissible. And that is the 10th point. The 11th point is وَالْوَصِيَّةُ الْجَائِزَةُ وَالْوَصِيَّةُ الْجَائِرَةُ بَاطِلَةٌ مَرْدُودَةٌ. So any will that is unjust is invalid and will be rejected. So this also has an hadith to that extent. Then the 12th thing to do is ولما كان الغالب على كثير من الناس في هذا الزمان الابتداع في دينهم ولا سيما فيما يتعلق بالجنائز. Now that we are living in a time Allahu Akbar, at a time whereby what has become a norm is for people to innovate in their religion, especially in issues that has to do with passing away, janaiz, and issues of death. كان من الواجب أن يوصي المسلم بأن يجهز ويدفن على سنة عملا بقوله تعالى. It is also expected that a righteous Muslim, should have a will that it should be prepared and it should be shrouded. It should be buried according to the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, working with the statement of Allah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون O you who believe, save yourself and your family from hell. The hell that are going to be, they are going to be what? They are going to be, their fuel are going to be humans and stones. And guarding them are very fierce angels. Those that do not wrong Allah or disobey Allah of what Allah command them, and they do what Allah command them to do. So these are 12 things for someone experiencing terminal illness. For someone experiencing such an illness that has high probability of leading to death, to take care of. So, and this is the chapter 1 of this book. Wassalamu alaikum.